general meeting to determine. His duties may not necessarily commensurate with his remuneration. Y therefore should not accept the suggestions of the directors regarding the scope of the work to be done. Even if Y accepts the suggestions of the directors regarding the scope of the work to be done, it would not reduce his responsibility as an auditor under the law. Under the circumstances, Y is violating the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. Right.
Understood?
So,
yes, tell me. Yes, tell me. Understood?
So, yeah. So, in this case, why auditor has violated the provisions of the Companies Act by not taking the remuneration of the directors.
No. The remuneration basically it has to be even if board is suggesting, he can discuss with the AG. He can accept, but scope of work he cannot accept reduction. Okay.
Yeah.
So board of directors, what they will do? They will take the suggestions from the AGM regarding the remuneration, and they can discuss with the audit, negotiate with the auditors on the basis of AGM suggestions that we have to reduce the fees. Fees can be reduced, but as far as the work reduction is concerned, even AGM does not have the power to reduce his work, scope of work.
Yeah,
okay?
Scope of the work is scope of the work is determined by
only auditor.
His
scope of work, and he is responsible for his scope of work. Anything happens, he cannot say that okay, AGM said that I will have to do less work, so I have done this work, so I am not responsible. He cannot say this thing. Okay.
Yeah. And the remuneration is also fixed, is an agreement between the auditor and the shareholders in the AGM. Remuneration of auditor.
Correct. Remuneration is also fixed, but board of directors can take suggestions from the AGM, can call for the extraordinary general meeting and can discuss, and the basis of suggestions from the shareholder, they can renegotiate the fees. But work reduction is
actually remuneration is remuneration is an agreement between auditor and board of directors with the permission of shareholders, right?
Correct. Okay, understood? Okay, next.
Yeah. Yes. C, clause C. While conducting the audit of a limited company for the year ended 31st March 2016, okay, the auditor wanted to refer to the minute book. The board of directors refused to show the minute book to the auditor.
Okay.
Is
it okay?
It's a limited company.
Sorry?
Auditor wanted it's not okay. It's not okay.
Yes.
Minute book auditor has a right of access to all.
Correct. So it's basically
auditor has a right of access to.
Yes. Tell me.
So all the books of accounts of the company at any time.
Yes, correct. So basically, you know the answers and you have revised the topic. Only thing is that you need to write in a. You need to learn that how to write in the exam. So that's why the answer also you need to write. You need to read, and even if you know, but if you are not writing in exam in a proper manner, then maybe numbers
presentation
is, so that's why you need to you should read the question and answers also. Okay, that will help you. So you read this. You read this.
The right of access to minute book, right? Section 143 clause 1 of the Companies Act 2013 grants powers to the auditor that every auditor has right of access at all times to the BOI books of accounts and vouchers of the company for conducting the audit. Further, he is also entitled to request from the officers of the company such information and explanations which he considers necessary for the proper performance of his duties as auditor. Therefore, he has a statutory right to inspect the director's minute book. In order to verify actions of the company and to vouch and verify some of the transactions of the company, it is necessary for the auditor to refer to the decisions of the shareholders and or the directors of the company. It is therefore essential for the auditor to refer to the minute book. In the absence of the minute book, the auditor may not be able to vouch or verify certain transactions of the company. The refusal by chairman to provide access to the director's minute book shall constitute limitation of the scope as far as auditor's duties were concerned. The auditor may examine whether by performing alternative procedures, the auditor can substantiate the assertions, or else he shall have to either qualify the report or give disclaimer of opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
So there is a concept in audit that in case you don't get all the things, you will do some alternative procedures. If it is, you find that it's adequate procedures, it could be used. And if you get all the evidences through alternative procedures, then it's not required. You will not be you need not to qualify the report. But even after alternative procedure or there is no alternative procedure available, then you have to qualify report or you need to give the disclaimer of opinion that okay, because I did not get the books of accounts, so I cannot express any opinion. Okay, understood?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is one thing.
Yes.
Another question will go. Then after that, maybe you need to revise half an hour, 1 hour, all the topic, complete half an hour or 45 minutes, complete topic with your notes. Then we will have the mock test. Okay. This is the question you can read.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Ram and Hanuman Associates Chartered Accountants in practice have been appointed as statutory auditor of Krishna Limited for the accounting year 2015-16. Mr. Hanuman holds 100 equity shares of Shiva Limited as a subsidiary company of Krishna Limited. Okay, state with reasons your views on the following. So, Ram and Hanuman Associates. Okay. Ram and Hanuman Associates are the chartered accountants of Krishna Limited.
Appointed as an statutory
Mr.
auditor of Krishna Limited.
Hanuman. Yeah. Mr. Hanuman, one of the chartered accountants, has 100 equity shares of Shiva Limited, which is a subsidiary of Krishna Limited. Yeah. So as he holds some shareholding in Krishna Limited in subsidiary companies, it means indirectly in Krishna Limited itself.
Correct.
So he possesses the interest in the company, so he cannot give the independent opinion on the financial statements of the Krishna Limited.
Correct. So it's not it's he should not accept, in fact. Correct? He should not accept appointment as an statutory auditor, correct? Am I correct? Okay.
He cannot be continued as a statutory auditor.
Yes. So yes. Right. Read this.
Up one. Yes. Yes. Auditor holding securities of a company. Yeah. As per subsection 3 clause D, clause 1 of section 141 of the Companies Act 2013, read with rule 10 of the Companies Audit and Auditors Rule 2014, a person shall not be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company who or his relative or partner is holding any security or interest in the company or its subsidiary or of its holding or associate company or as a subsidiary of such holding company. Okay, subsidiary or its holding or associate company.
Correct.
Or a subsidiary of such holding company. However, the relative may hold security or interest in the company of face value not exceeding 1 lakh rupees. Okay, it is a face value of all the shares.
Yes. Relative may hold, but not more than 1 lakh. Face value not exceeding 1 lakh. If it is more than 1 lakh, then he will, that auditor will also get disqualified. Okay.
Yeah. If that auditor is a relative. Right?
No. Auditors, I am appointed as a statutory auditor, but my relative is holding the security or interest in the company of face value more than 1 lakh. Okay. So I should not accept appointment. Yeah. Relative of the auditor.
Yeah. Okay. Also, as per section 4 of section 141 of the Companies Act 2013, where a person appointed as an auditor of a company incurs any of the disqualifications mentioned in subsection 3 after his appointment, he shall vacate his office as such auditor, and such vacation shall be deemed to be a casual vacancy in the office of the auditor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. If such any disqualifications are there, then it shall be deemed to have a casual vacancy.
Yeah, casual vacancy has to be filled within 30 days by board of directors, correct? By
within
BOD,
30 days of disqualification.
correct. Within 30 days of the disqualification, and in case it's because of resignation of the auditor, then AGM has to approve that resignation, that new appointment within 3 months of the appointment by the board of directors. Correct. So if I have resigned as an auditor,
within 3 months of
if I have resigned as an auditor of the statutory auditor of a company, then board of directors has to appoint within 30 days another auditor. And after the appointment, after the another new auditor appointment, AGM has to approve that appointment within 3 months. If it is because of resignation, this is not because of resignation, this is because of disqualification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Casual vacancy. Yeah.
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 You can read.
In the present case, Mr. In the present case, Mr. Hanuman, Chartered Accountant, a partner of Mrs. Rama and Hanuman Associates, holds 100 equity shares of Shiva Limited, which is a subsidiary of Krishna Limited. Therefore, the firm Mrs. Rama and Hanuman Associates would be disqualified to be appointed as a statutory auditor of Krishna Limited, which is a holding company of Shiva Limited, because one of the partners, Mr. Hanuman, is holding equity shares of its subsidiary. Right?
Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Understood? Next question.
Yes. This one. Mr. Rajendra, a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, working as a manager of Srivastava & Co., a chartered accountant firm, signed the audit report of OM Limited on behalf of Srivastava & Co. Okay, he's a fellow member of ICA, means chartered accountant, working as a manager of Srivastava & Co. Okay, signed the audit report of OM Limited on behalf of. Okay. So, as he is the chartered accountant of the firm, he can sign the audit report of OM Limited on behalf of Srivastava & Co. Right?
No, I think maybe I need to read this. But what I think here, whereas Mr. Rajan, a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants, he is working a manager of Srivastava and Company, a chartered accountant firm. So manager cannot sign, partner can sign. Understood? So let us read, because I am also not, as I told you, I am out of touch for this with the CA studies. So let us read the question, answer.
Practical thing.
Yes, let us read the answer. This
it is the B, right? Yeah. Signature on audit report. Section 145 of the Companies Act 2013 requires that the person appointed as an auditor of the company shall sign the auditor's report or sign or certify any other document of the company in accordance with the provisions of the subsection 2 of the section 141. That is, where a firm, including a limited liability partnership, is appointed as an auditor of a company, only the partners or chartered accountants shall be authorized to act and sign on behalf of the firm. Okay. Only chartered accountants can authorize and act.
No. Chartered accountants is partner only. Not employee of the firm. Not employee of the firm. Yeah. He is employee of the firm.
Only the partners.
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, Mr. Rajendra, a fellow member of the institute and manager of Srivastava & Co. Chartered Accountants, cannot sign on behalf of the firm in the view of the specific requirements of the Companies Act 2013. If any auditor's report or any document of the company is signed or authenticated otherwise than in conformity with the requirements of section 145, the auditor concerned and the person, if any other than the auditor who signs the report or signs or authenticates the documents, shall, if the default is willful, be punishable with a fine.
So partners will be punishable. If it is willful default, means it's by knowingly, they were knowing that employee has signed, their employee has signed, then they will be punished with a fine. Okay? Understood?
Okay.
Okay. So this
so
now.
Here willfully, if the
first of all, the auditor has not expressed the opinion, because the employee has expressed the opinion, and partner is the auditor, not employee is the auditor. Okay. So they have not.
If audit. Yeah.
Just tell me.
Yeah, employee of the firm authenticated the financial statements without any proper eligibility.
Correct. So,
right.
Yeah. So if auditors knows, our partners knows, then they will be punishable.
The fine.
Yes. Done. Now you
Yeah.
take half an hour or 45 minutes time and revise complete topic. Then I will give you some questions to write the answer. Okay. So you can, if you want to disconnect, you can
Okay.
disconnect also. You do the complete top revision in maybe half 45 minutes you can do.
1 second, sir. I'll just check the data speed.
Huh.
And then I'll come back
No
within
problem.
1 second.
So
Should
you take,
I disconnect or
yeah,
should I
you,
kept in hold?
no, you disconnect it, and by 11:30 you can rejoin, and then we will have the mock test. Okay.
Okay.
Two questions, maybe 2 or 3
11:30.
questions.
What's the time now? It's 10:43. Okay.
So you need to revise fast. You need to revise.
Yeah, my notes. Yeah, my notes is ready.
Yes, yes.
Just I have to disconnect and check the data speed and connect again.
Done. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.